Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. One more time. Hey, 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 hey. Happy Friday. It is Friday. Yeah. Friday. Freedom Friday. TGIF. That, all of that. TGIF, you know what it means. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, yes, yes. For me, it means thank God I'm fabulous. Yeah, I adopted that. I got that from Kamora Lee Simmons. It's mine now. It's mine. We sharing it. It's all love. More than one of us can be fabulous, and I feel fabulous too. I hope you are feeling great. It's Friday. It is the Noontime My Time podcast. And it's Freedom Fridays today, so we've got some stuff to talk about, right? We want to have some freedom. That's what we want. We want to be free. Yes, we want to be free. But we don't want to be dumb. And today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about why Americans are not working, or at least why they're not going back to work. Not going back to work the same way that they were before the pandemic. It's a discussion. It's something that we should absolutely be talking about. And we will. But you know what we got to do? The thing that we do here every day at lunchtime, they call it lunchtime. We call it noontime, my time, because we are reclaiming our time. And we get ready to reclaim our time right now. We're getting ready to recalibrate. We've already been through half of the workday. And so now, we want to breathe. Yeah. We want to breathe. So you know how we do it. We're going to inhale to the count of 4. And then we're going to hold it for a few seconds. Then we're going to exhale. We're going to hold that a few seconds. And then we are going to exhale. Do it a few more times. Do it like 3 really good times. And we'll get into the show. Y'all ready for it? Let's do it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that to the count of 4. Breathe in again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. And one more time. Inhale. Hold that a few seconds. And exhale. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Now, didn't that feel good? Don't you feel good right now? I hope you do, because I certainly do. I'm really in a really great mood on this Friday. You know, I started my morning out really great. It was good. I see I've got someone in here who's always in here with us. Keep the faith with Tori. She says, I know it's lunchtime. Oh, yeah. But you know what we call it now. We call it noontime, my time. It's your time. Your time. Darlington is in the building. On the TGIF, Keep the Faith, Tori says, thank God I'm forgiven. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I might have to, I need to write that one down. I might have to say that one sometimes. Thank God I'm forgiven. Yeah, because y'all know we have done some things. We didn't know better. But you know what? When you learn better, you got to do better. And so that's the great thing about it. And that's the great thing about forgiveness. Because now we know. Freedom Friday, what we want to talk about today, I asked this question, and I hope you guys are gonna join me in the chat, and let's kind of have a little conversation about this, because I know you have an opinion as well. You're seeing it in the news, you're hearing it in the news, you might be reading like the blogs, watching things online. Why are Americans not working? Or why are they not going back to work? Many Americans are not working, or at least many are not returning at the same rate as employed before the pandemic. As the world slowly opens back up, the job market is just not the same. And that makes us ask why. It really does. It makes us curious. Why is it not the same? But I think that there are various factors as to why folks are not excited about going back to work. I mean, who's going to be excited about going back to the office, to that 9 to 5, that 5 days a week, that whole week grind? It's just a lot of people have, they've become comfortable with remote work. That whole remote work model and that hybrid, that's a nice setup. And I really think that it's got a lot of people spoiled. Maybe it has. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think that we can definitely have a conversation about it. In this podcast, I want to talk about, I feel like it's the end of the rat race. And we're involved into a new era of work. Who wants to work the same way? Who has those same work values like your parents and your grandparents? It's like the pandemic brought along a whole lot of changes in our lives, and people are just choosing to live their lives differently. I mean, let's just say it. Let's be honest. Folks are choosing freedom over office. Let's have a conversation about the benefits and the challenges of the new day and the new way of looking at work, and discuss how people are seeking more flexibility in their professional lives. They want something different. They absolutely do. How you doing, Drunk? I see Drunk here in the chat. Hope you're having a super, super Friday. It's Freedom Friday. That's what we're calling it. You said the pandemic opened up everyone's mind when it comes to work. Exactly. That is what I'm talking about. It's opened people's mind up to a different way of thinking about work. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back in no one's office. I like being at home. A lot of people feel that way. Yes, they do. Drunk says, hey, Miss Tanya. Hey, Tori. Oh, yeah. We've got to talk about this, guys, because so much has changed within the last few years. A lot has changed. People's values have changed. The way they're looking at work has changed. There's several reasons why people are not interested in working that same way. And think about this. Like our parents and grandparents, like they brought into this system of you got to get a good job. You get yourself a good job. You get some good benefits. And you stay on that job for 20, 30 years. And you retire from that same job. And that's just not a model that is popular anymore. And it's not attractive to the younger generations. It really isn't. And it's never been attractive to me, to be honest. It's just not attractive thinking about I've got to go to this same job, do this same thing every day, 30 odd years, so that I can retire and get a pension. People don't think like that anymore, but that was our work model for many, many years, many, many decades. Now, what are some of the reasons you guys think this model doesn't work anymore? Do you think the model will come back? The world is opening up slowly. People are getting back into some of their groove, getting back into some of the things that they have been doing. But do you think that model will come back? I don't know. I just don't know. I just think people desire more of a work-life balance. People want flexibility. They do. They want to feel like they've got more flexibility. I see that Drunk is here in the chat. Let me see what his comment is here. He says, the generation graduating high school now want nothing to do with a regular job. They almost look down upon it. You're right. You're absolutely right. They're looking at you like, a job? You want a job? Like, what is a job? A job ain't nothing but work. Okay? Drunk also says, nah, I don't think it's coming back. I gotta agree with you, man. I don't. Like I said, I feel like people are really, they're looking at their work-life balance. They want that flexibility. And then we've got to look at how technology has ushered in a whole new wave of opportunities. People can work remote, and there's a whole gig economy. Freelance work has changed a whole lot. There's just so many different ways to make money. People are not in any hurry to rush back into anyone's office or anyone's job. And you see it every day. Now, I could say that could be good for some things, but I've seen some negative aspects of that, especially when it comes to small business owners. And I can say that because I have many friends who are small business owners, and for them to find people to work is so challenging. All of them pretty much say the same thing to me, like they can't find people who want to work. They can't find people who have that same work ethic. Like, it's really difficult. So for them, it's like crushing small business. It really is. But we've got to understand that people have gotten used to being in their homes. People have gotten used to the fact that you can have a remote job. You can set up your home office and you can get work done. Now, there's been many people who have been doing this for many years, myself included. And so I know how they feel. I don't think that I could do that anymore myself. Drunk says here, I think another big factor is people want more, and they want it faster than the regular job will give you. You're right. You're absolutely right. People want things easier. People want things faster, and a job ain't nothing but work in their mind and in their eyes. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She says, in my last job in an office, I was bullied by adults. It was catty, and I was very stressed out. That job made me physically sick. See, that's horrible. Like, to have a work environment that you really don't like, but you've got to work a job because people got to pay bills. People got to live. You got to have a roof over your head. You got to put food in your belly. You got to put gas in your car. You want to be able to do things. That's horrible. That really, really is. And I tell you something else about not going back into the office. People are also thinking about, okay, I'm spending 9 to 5 in this space, 5 days a week. I'm really not having any flexibility with things that I might want to get done during the week. Because there's certain things during the week that you want to do and business that you want to take care of that really can't be taken care of on the weekend. Like, business offices are closed on weekends. So I don't know why there hasn't been a thought that, okay, well, maybe we should have a different work week. And now I realize that people are talking about 4-day work weeks. I'm hearing a lot about that now. Have you guys heard about that? A 4-day work week? And in fact, some jobs, and even Chick-fil-A, are offering 3-day, 12-hour models. And people are finding that attractive. They got to. They're finding that attractive because they want freedom. They're looking at, okay, well, yeah, I work 12 hours for 3 days because, look, I got 4 days of freedom. They're looking at that. That's a viable way of thinking about, I could work like that. I could work a job like that. I'm giving up 3 days. Makes sense. If that's what you want to do, it absolutely makes sense. I see Drunk here in the comments. He said, man, Tori, that makes me sad. I hate to say it, but you gotta have a F. What? Everybody, I'm here for this money mindset. He said, I hate to say it, but you gotta have a F that everybody. And I'm here for this money mindset. Absolutely. You do. Hey, you absolutely do. And that's just one of the things that happens. I hear Drunk here saying also that 4-day work week sounds good, long as I'm getting 5-day money. Okay, I see the laughing emoji, but that is not a joke. Exactly. We're not talking about the pay changing. We're talking about the days changing. There is a big difference. Okay. And I see Tori, you're saying, keep the faith with Tori, saying, yes, but those days are longer. They are. They could be. Because I don't know if I could really work at Chick-fil-A or anybody's job for 12 hours. 3 days, 12 hours. I would imagine there would have to be some different circumstances. I would really have to think about that. Like as a younger person with a young person energy, I could probably say, yeah, I could do that. But I would definitely put a timetable on that. I'd look at, hey, I'm going to go on this job. I'm going to bust this out. I'm going to save some money. And I'm going to do this for, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. Put a plan on it. Put a plan in there where you know that you're going to save a certain amount of money and you're going to hustle this thing and you're going to work this job and not let this job work you. You're going to do your job because absolutely I feel like anytime we decide to take a job, when you sign your name on that dotted line and you make the decision to trade your time for that money, I think you should go in there and you should do a good job. You should always want to represent yourself well, you know? So if you make the decision to do that 3-day, 12-hour workday, yeah, you know it's going to be tough. But I would put a time frame on that. I go in there and I bust that out and I do what I got to do because there's a lot that you could do on those other 4 days, particularly if you have an entrepreneur spirit. So if you think about, okay, well, you know, I'm working this job, but I also have these other dreams. I want to start this business. So keep your job and allow that to fund it, you know? Allow that to take care of your minimum and basic household needs, your way of living. Allow that to happen. But you've got 4 days that you can dedicate towards building. And I think that would be something that you could do. I see Piece of Cake in the building. How you doing, Amina? Very nice to have you here on Freedom Friday. You know what we're talking about. You joining us in the conversation. I see you saying here, as a community activist, I was also excited to be employed by a local nonprofit because of security. Unfortunately, some jobs actually restrict your ability to do work from your heart. Red tape. Shaking my head. Well, you know what? That can be challenging. That can be challenging. That's why I say, I look at people who know that they have a certain, I don't know if I want to say passion so much, but if you have a certain desire to do a certain line of work yourself, and that be your particular business, I definitely would suggest getting like a BS job that is going to pay your bills or whatever you want to get done. Because I would rather have that type of job that is not going to, you want a job that I can walk in there and I can do my job well and I could leave it there. Not one that I have to take home with me that is so similar and so close to what it is that I'm trying to do, you know? That's me. So I always say sometimes a little BS job, it can work for you. It really can. You just gotta have a plan. So you have that in your mind. You're like, hey, I'm going to do this for 2 or 3 years. Even if it's a 2, 3, 5 year plan, have that plan. Save your money. Get the things that you need for your business or whatever it is that you're looking to finance. Or if you want to educate yourself to do something else, you've got the time to do that. I also see Piece of Cake says here, also the lack of proper leadership is also driving a lot of people to leave traditional workspaces. I would imagine so. Yeah, definitely. I can understand that. But I'm not in those spaces. I'm grateful that I'm not in those spaces, but I have been there. So I very much know what it's like. And I finally figured out that, you know what? I'm going to take this BS job. I'm going to take it for this certain amount of time. I'm going to stack some cash. I'm going to invest in my business. I'm going to get the equipment and everything that I need to build for whatever it is that I want to do. And you maintain that until you can work your way out of the place. But I always stand by doing a good job. Good service is everything. And especially if you're going to be in a service related industry, do a good job. Don't take a job and say, this is a BS job and I don't want to be here and I don't care about being here. I just want to. No. You made the decision to do it. So you should do it well. Represent yourself well. Okay. I see Drunk here. He says, another factor is people realizing that these jobs aren't loyal to them. Why give your life to a company that don't care about you? Well, listen, I don't feel like I've ever had a job that cared about me. I always thought about a job as work. I knew that I was trading my time for some cash. Piece of Cake says, I feel you for real, Miss Tanya. That's facts. You have to use the BS job intentionally. That's it. Use it with intention. Have a plan. Have a plan. You should know what you're doing. And when you have a plan, let me say this, going to that BS job is not a hassle because you know why you're going there. You know what you're doing. When you walk through those doors, you go in there, you represent yourself well, you do your job well. When it's time for you to clock out and leave, you clock out and leave. You leave all of the headache and everything that has to do with that job right there until it's time for you to go back again. You're not taking anything home with you. When you have a BS job, you don't have a whole lot on your shoulders. You're not taking anything home with you. You do what you do while you're there. You do that well, and you come home. You get home, you have your plan. You don't take that into your house. You just don't. So you know what's going on. You know why you're there. All right. Another reason well, I tell you what, really, I think we've already come to this conclusion as to why Americans aren't going back to work, because it really is freedom. That's the major reason. People are not rushing back out to the old ways of the workforce because of freedom. People want their time. Folks are opting out of the rat race. They're leaving those whole 9-to-5 models. It just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. I see Drunk here. He says, facts. Leave work at work if you can. Absolutely. If you can, I encourage you to. I see my people in here. They in here talking to each other. Piece of Cake and Keep the Faith having a conversation. She's telling Tori that red tape is the worst. I think because I realize that in place sometimes my people who just want to make things hard because they're on a power trip. I don't got time. Okay? The red tape is the worst. And it is because people realize that, you're in this job and they're on their little power trips. It happens. It really happens. But a lot of the times those people who are in those positions, they are where they are, and really there's not a whole lot of upward mobility for them. Typically it isn't. It really isn't. Drunk says, I had to call 4 different car shops because they said they didn't have enough technicians to take my car. Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. People are not going back to work. They aren't. In fact, I've seen mobile mechanics. That's like a thing. Technology and just people's way of thinking now has changed a whole lot of business, and the way that people are doing business, and the way that people are thinking about bringing new business. A mobile mechanic. Imagine your car breaks down. The mechanic is coming to you. Come on. Come on. That's what you want right there. That's what you want. You want convenience. You don't have to worry about taking it somewhere and, like you say, they're telling you that they don't have enough technicians to work. And it's true, they don't. They don't have enough. And that's almost in every business. I've gone into grocery stores and they not have enough people to work. Even some of these chain type stores, like these Dollar General stores. And I don't know, like, if it's all over the country, but certainly in my area, there's a couple that I've gone there a couple times, and they have a sign on the door that they're out for a certain amount of hours, and it's because they don't have enough workers. So they actually have to close the store. They're closing the store like it's just like a mom and pop store where they've just got like a couple people who are working. And, we got to put a out to lunch sign on the door. And you guys just got to wait until we come back because we don't have anybody to stay in here so that the one or two people who are there can get a break. And that's crazy. Piece of Cake says, almost all freelancers I know are happier and perform better. Absolutely. They feel their freedom. And I think they feel their freedom because not only do they feel their freedom, because we get it, they're working within their own time and within their own constraints. However they want to get their work done, they're able to do that. But I think a larger thing that came out of the pandemic for a lot of freelancers and a lot of like entrepreneurs and a lot of content creators, and we can actually say content creators now when people understand that is a real thing, that is a real career. It's like there has been some respect put on our names, because for the longest time with me and video and media, I'd have people in my family who they thought I was just at home, thinking I'm at home. I can do whatever they want done. They could just call me, I'm at home. I'm not doing anything. So there wasn't a respect put on the position. When you're working at home, you're not at home. You're working. Respect these guidelines of these hours. And that's the same thing for people who work remote. Okay, they work remote. They're not at home. I mean, not typically how we think at home. It's not like they're at home, they're on the couch, they got the remote in their hand and they're watching TV. That's not happening. That's not how it goes down. And certainly that's not how it goes down for content creators. There is always stuff to do. So much to do that it really grows beyond what you can do as one person. It really does. You got to think about, you are filming, you are editing, you have to pay attention to social media, you're uploading. It's a whole lot of work. And a lot of people falsely think that it's easy and think or thought that it was something that they could do. And I do encourage people to try it. But if you're doing it because you think that it's easy and you look at them like, hey, yeah, I can do that too. Maybe you could do it. But the question is, are you going to do it? Are you going to put that much time into it? Do you have that type of time to put into it? Do you have the skill? And if you don't have the skill, are you going to put the time into learning it? Because it absolutely is something that can be learned from your home. You can get coaches by remote. There's a certain level of things that you can learn on YouTube, but it's got to grow beyond that. If you think that you are going to get everything for free and really learn how to break in through this game off of the free game, you've got another thing coming, because there's so much that you don't know that people are just not putting out there for free. You think that, but you're going to have to spend some money. You got to spend money to make money. You know how it goes. Somebody tell me the right way about how that thing goes. I hear Drunk says, in the future, we might all be content creators and regular jobs are worked by robots and AI. Listen, so many jobs already are replaced by AI. They've been slowly doing it up under our nose and in our faces for the longest time. I mean, what do you think self-checkout is? What is that? What is that? What is self-checkout? That's not a person working. You're doing that, you know? So those are jobs that are being replaced as well. And several plants. And as I see with Amazon, lots of people are losing jobs. For the longest time, we thought that tech jobs was a good space to be in, that those were secure jobs. And when you look around now, and when you look into the news now, there's not a whole lot of stability there. It isn't. There's not a whole lot of stability in any job. You can't think that you're going to get a job and that you're going to work there and retire from there. Even if you wanted to do that, I don't know how much something like that is available. It really isn't. I see Keep the Faith with Tori says, stop telling folks business. They showed on be on. They be at the store. Oh my gosh. What you talking about? How they gonna be at the store and working? You can't work unless they got the computer in the car. What's going on? I see Keep the Faith. She said, I hate self-checkout. Yes, I absolutely, the only time that I really appreciate self-checkout is when I only have a few things and I'm in a hurry, or I don't feel like for having the few amount of things that I have that I should be in a line behind someone who has 2 buggies. I have a great amount of patience, but if I've just got, 1 or 2 things and I can go to self-checkout, that's where it's helpful. Other than that, I feel like Walmart, Lowe's, all these places, I feel like they need to go ahead and send me a W-2 because I've been working. I have. Piece of Cake says, now entrepreneurship isn't easy, and you will have more flexibility with scheduling how you'll spend your time, but you better be disciplined because you earn only what you set yourself up to make. I got to read that again. Yes, she just dropped a truth bomb on you. She let you know entrepreneurship is not easy. It does offer you more flexibility. Yes, it does. It does. With your schedule and how you spend your time, but you better be disciplined. You got to have discipline to run a business. You've got to have discipline to schedule yourself. You are scheduling yourself. You are your own boss. And you know how you are. You got to make you do it. And if you don't make yourself do it, you are only going to be earning what you set yourself up to make. And that's why some of you make nothing. You're not disciplined. You have to be disciplined. Many people have jobs and they need jobs because they need to be managed. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to say this, and I think it's important to say this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having a job. You should never let anyone shame you for having a job, and whatever that job is. I don't care where you're working. If you're working at a gas station, if you're working at a grocery store, if you're working at a car wash, no one can job shame you because you made a decision to go out here and earn something for yourself. You did. And some people have jobs, and it's important that some people have jobs, and they love it. They don't want to run a business. Running a business is not easy. More than being disciplined, it is just a lot of work to do. When you are an entrepreneur, you have more than one job. It may be easier for you to just go out there and get your one job, earn what you need, and keep it moving because you have more time and more flexibility, believe it or not, and less stress. So it really depends on you and your mindset, You got to think about that. It's about freedom. You got to figure out, how am I going to get my freedom? They say Americans are not working. They say Americans are not going back out into the workplace. Americans are not staying on jobs and retiring. They're not going to retire and get that pension check. It's just not the same. It's not the same. Technology has changed the game. It really has. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to say, hey, whether I'm working for myself, whether I'm working this job, what I am going to do is I'm going to take some time for myself, and take some time for yourself every day. I'm not just talking about the vacations and things of that nature. I'm talking about taking a moment of time, like what we're doing right now. Yeah, we're taking that moment. That's why we have the Noontime My Time podcast. We are reclaiming our time. We're taking a breath. We're having a chat. And then we're going to get back into our day and we're just going to rock it out. It's Freedom Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. I appreciate all of you. I really, really, really do. I love it. It's been another full week. I've had another full week of fun. What we going to do now? Yeah. We get ready to get back into that work day. But before we do, we're going to take a moment to breathe. And what I want you to do is, if you want to feel it just a little bit more, you can close your eyes and put your hands over your heart. Do that. Now let's breathe. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. And hold that a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. If you had your eyes closed, I want you guys to smile before you open your eyes. Smile. Doesn't that feel great? I know it feels great. I feel great. I want you to continue to have a great day, guys. Rock out a little bit more and ease on back into your day. One love, y'all.